we're doing good. This is growth mindset. Growth mindset, I don't call it that because when people hear growth mindset, they turn their brains off. Poor Carol Dweck. I mean, I don't feel super sorry for her because I think she sold like 38 million books, but I feel a little sorry for her because for the past 5 years, all she's done is go around and try to fix misconceptions about her work. People think, just tell kids to try harder. That'll give them that growth mindset. People think growth mindset is something that you have or you don't have. It's a belief. It changes every second in every context. You tell me that I have to go race you around this building a few times, guess what? I'm not going to probably have growth mindset in that second. I'm not going to think I can just will my way through this race to beat you. It's fluid. So Carol Dweck's going around and she's writing in the Atlantic and in the new editions of her book saying, listen, you have fixed mindset in certain things. So do your kids. It's this context-dependent belief. Don't just give kids blanket praise. Talk about demotivating. I was reading a Dan Willingham book on the way here. He says, one of the worst things you can do is tell a child they're smart. That lines up with Dweck's early work. But the point here with the effort belief is just take the things that we want students to do, Dweck says. So make a list. You want them to read at home. You want them to pick a book from the classroom library. You want them to know when to abandon a book or whatever. Take those things and then pull a John Wooden, who was famous for a first day of college basketball practice, teaching his players to do what? Put on their socks and shoes. Wooden, by the way, I think this is pretty cool. He's like this famous sports coach. Guess what he said his job was in a TED talk he gave when he was like 90, sitting in a wheelchair. He says, I was a teacher. Started as an English teacher, actually. And coached high school, then college, and eventually ended up at UCLA. But Wooden always viewed the job as teaching. And I think one of the reasons he's successful and why the story of putting your socks and shoes on correctly is so important is because he explicitly taught the things that he wanted his students to do well. He didn't hope that they discovered the correct way to do it. He didn't make it inquiry-based. He didn't. He was obsessed with what's the shortest path to you being able to do what I know that if you do it, you'll succeed. And so he really was not afraid of direct instruction at all. And we shouldn't be either with these types of things that we want our students to all do. So teaching the kind of effort we want is critical, Carol Dweck is saying. There you go, Carol Dweck. You should pay me a little bit for that because you didn't have to come to ILA this year. I got you. Last, we have efficacy, the belief that we can succeed. In that Dan Willingham book I was reading on the airplane, anyone read this? Why Don't Students Like School? Wow, this is a good book for a whole staff study. Almost as good as these 6.